Good morning. It is July 7th. Back on trail. Had a good day off yesterday. I think my body might be in a little shock. That is probably the most rest I've had since I started this thing. Wow. Yeah, I'm almost kind of wondering, at least during this first mile, like, is that too much rest? You know how you can get too much sleep? But I did. I took like 3 naps yesterday. And then still slept all night last night for the most part. So, yep, back out here, pushing north. Let's go. What's up, everybody? So, one thing I just wanted to mention, I guess, document. So while I was off yesterday, that Walmart being right there, I actually went and got some more liquid IV. I'm probably carrying like $30 or $40 worth of liquid IV right now, just because it can be hard to get. It can be really hard to get out here. Basically, Walmart is the easiest and place to get it and cheapest, but you don't. I know I've hit a Walmart. I've been lucky. I've hit a Walmart like twice in the last week, but that has not traditionally been the case. And moving north from here, it looks like probably hit a town or a state park like every single day, pretty much throughout Pennsylvania. As long as you do at least like 18 miles, you can pretty much either make it to a state park or a town, all of which have like gas stations or like a general store. So, but not necessarily a Walmart or even like a CVS or anywhere like that carries electrolytes. So, yeah, I went ahead and loaded up on those. And the reason I did that, reading some of the threads in the class, and I mean, this is probably kind of common sense to some people anyway, but if you hadn't thought about it, so it is like really hot and humid right now. I mean, it's still morning time. I've only gone on, 2 or 3 miles, and I am burning up, and just it's muggy, it's hot, it's humid. But so yeah, there's actually been some people that have come off trail from dehydration, or I guess some form of dehydration, not because they weren't drinking water. These people were drinking like 4 and 5 liters of water. The problem was they were drinking so much water because it was so hot and being, thirsty and all, that they were diluting their system. Sorry, I'm going through a whole bunch of rocks right now. But yeah, they were diluting their system, and it was knocking out all their minerals and electrolytes and all that kind of stuff. So I do not want that problem. So going forward, I'm going to try to drink at least 2 of those a day. And I like the liquid IV. It doesn't have as much sugar in it. And I always feel good after I drink them. Some people use the Gatorade packets. There's all Element. There's all kind of different brands. But yeah, I don't know if you've noticed or not, I don't really like this chest strap. I don't like the way it. I've noticed that's kind of a common thing out here too. These rocks are crazy today. And this isn't even supposed to be like the real rocky section. That doesn't start till like north of Duncannon, I think. I guess we're getting ready. But yeah, so anyway, got plenty of stuff to stay hydrated and all that. Another thing I figured out, maybe if you ever come through here to plan on doing this section, you can learn from some of this, or at least make note of it, is I am carrying way too much food. Normally when I plan, normally when you hit a Walmart, you resupply best you can, or, get a lot of stuff, at least like dinner-wise, if you want backpacking meals and stuff like that, instead of, hitting up a gas station or a dollar store for ramen. But, I only look like a couple of days out at a time. If you start looking too far out, you can get overwhelmed quick. If I had looked at the whole state of Pennsylvania, that's a whole state. That's You know, just like if you look at the whole trail and you go, oh my God, Georgia to Maine, that's so crazy. That's huge. Like, you're going to walk that far? Like, well, no. I'm not walking from Georgia to Maine today. Today I'm walking from here to here. And so that's how you have to kind of look at it out here. But, yeah, if I'd have known I could hit a town every single day. Now, when I say town, I don't mean like for real legit town. I mean like one restaurant, a gas station, and a post office kind of place. Some of them anyway, not all of them. But if I'd have known I had had access to like some kind of real type food every day, I would not be carrying what I'm carrying. And I could probably make it through the whole state with just like maybe 1 or 2 backpacking meals. So, but oh well. Got plenty of food, don't have to worry about that. But it is unnecessary weight. And I'm not giving the stuff away, I'm not throwing it away, definitely not throwing it away. So anyway, it is what it is. Let's go. This isn't even like nothing. There's been a couple of sections where it was like literally just stepping rock to rock. But it's pretty through here. That's when I turned the camera on. All these ferns. These are new looking, nice. Everything's pretty dry still. There's some stuff to scoop from. It's not flowing. It may be flowing and we're about to hit another one. This one here is flowing. Real dry through here. Tony, they ain't got nothing like this in the South. They got it figured out up here. Tumble Run Shelters. So, what happens when I try to fire this thing up coming down one of these rocky summits? But, yeah, so I could have totally got what's called stuck in the vortex back at Rouserville when I was there in that little bitty town. And in case you're wondering what that is, it's a term or slang that's used out here for people hiking. It's called getting stuck in the vortex. Basically, you get somewhere and it's so comfortable and so nice that basically you just don't want to leave. It takes everything to get out of there, and I was definitely feeling like that this morning. But so glad, you know, I knew I wasn't staying another night or anything like that, but you know, still had that feeling like, man, it sure would be nice if I could, like, you sure it's not going to storm today kind of thing? But which I think it is supposed to storm tomorrow. But anyway, so, but then, you know, you get out here and you start crushing miles. I'm making great time today, and get that first mile or two knocked out, start feeling good. It just you know, adrenaline rush being out here, and really glad that I got out of there and pushing north. You know, when I was talking to the lady that gave me a ride back to the trailhead this morning, she was asking me, like, whereabouts I thought I might end up today. And I told her, you know, I wasn't really, like, completely sure. Pretty through here. We're on, like, a gas line. Check that out. But, yeah, so anyway, I was like, I'm not real sure. I said probably somewhere in the neighborhood of Caledonia State Park. And she looked at me and she was like, oh my goodness, you're planning on having a really big day, huh? And I was like, well, I mean, it's like 18 miles. That's, you know, about average, whatever. And she was like, that's it? I was like, yeah. And she never did tell me exactly what the car ride is there or whatever. But made it sound like it was a long ride. And or it seemed to her like it was far away. And she was, you know, she's local in the area. But yeah, and so, you know, what you got to realize is, and it's kind of mind-boggling to me sometimes too, when I look like in Google Maps or Apple Maps at the end of the day and look at where I started and where I ended, and like, it's like, wow, you know, how in the world did I get there? But what it is, you know, like right now I'm on top of a ridge, and through this section of trail, I mean, there ain't no curves or turns or nothing like that. It's, you know, you pretty much, you straight shooting to, you know, across, basically, you know, working your way across Pennsylvania, but in a straight line. And, you know, and roads curve and turn and swerve and all that. And so, yeah, you end up covering a whole lot of ground just by walking on top of these mountains, on these ridges. So I remember, you know, when Kelly and Eddie came and saw me in Shenandoah, you know, from the cabin we had to back to the trailhead the morning that me and Eddie hiked, it's like a 30-minute ride. And we did, like, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood, I can't remember, maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of 9 or 10 miles that day. And anyway, for her to come pick us up was like a 50-minute ride, you know, and 10 miles in a car, that's nothing. That's just, you know, a couple of minutes, if that. But that was the difference, just because, you know, I had these mountain roads and all that kind of stuff. And had actually planned on doing like some slag packing more than I did while they were here. But you know, that 50 minutes, if I would have done another day, say I went by myself and did, you know, 20 or something, and picking me up from that would have been maybe like an hour and a half, 2-hour ride or something like that. You know, and then if I did another day, it would have got bigger and bigger, and it wasn't worth it. But it does explain, it shows you how you can cover so much ground out here, and not a, you know, in a day, pretty much, in a full day of hiking. So, yep. But the plan is to get up to somewhere around Caledonia State Park today. It's like a major highway that runs right through there. It's Route 30. I can't remember if it's US 30 or PA 30. I think it might be US. But that's what I'm pushing for. And that'll be like an 18-mile day somewhere in that neighborhood. And there's all kind of stuff right there around there. I think from where the trail hits the highway, like 0.3 to the west, and 0.3 on the road is not very far, is a barbecue place. It's supposed to have really good barbecue. I think it's called 65 South Barbecue. Now, this place is not anywhere near I-65, if that's what you're thinking, or even a Highway 65, not that I know of. So I don't know where it gets its name, but I may check that out if I get there in time. I think they close at like 4, something like that. Just have to see how the rest of the day goes. But yeah, all kind of neat stuff like that. And like I said, yesterday when I was off, I went ahead and started looking at like the whole state, since I had plenty of time, and just kind of getting a game plan. And there is stuff like that, like throughout the whole state. I think you can pretty much at least get like a sub or a sandwich, hit a deli shop or a little mountainside store, like basically every day. So that's really cool. And looking forward to checking out some of those. So definitely a completely different style of backpacking and hiking up here. A lot more hiker friendly, so it seems anyway. Anyway, that's it. Let me get on down this trail. So just climbed up to another ridge, which should be the final climb for the day. Basically just walk the back of this ridge for a little bit, a couple of miles, and then it drops down into US Route 30. And I'm gonna call it a day somewhere around in there. So I was looking at my options. I don't know if you can tell or not in this green tunnel, but there's some kind of, they've been calling for a system to move in tonight, thunderstorms, and it may be getting here now. It's definitely, you can feel the temperature drop and the wind pick up a little bit, and just getting overcast. So it could start pouring on me in any minute. But yeah, my options down here are, basically I got 3. Caledonia State Park is right there, which would be fine, be nice. It's got running water and restrooms. Don't know exactly what it costs to tent there, but I mean, it's a state park. I would guess $15, something like that, be my guess. And so that's one option. There is a hostel down here at this intersection that you can get to by foot. It's just like, I think it's 0.4 or something like that from where the trail comes out. It's supposed to be an easy road walk. I think it's called Through It All Hostel, and it's only $25, and that's for a bunk, a shower, all that kind of stuff. So that's sounding pretty good right now, especially if it's going to storm tonight and everything's going to get wet, and just not have to deal with that in the morning would be lovely. And then the third option would be to push 2 miles past US 30, and there's a shelter up there. But deal with that is, if I do that, there'd be water there. That's the main thing. But I think my days of staying in the shelters are over with, to be honest with you. At least if I can help it. Just cramped. It's not my style. I gotta listen to same conversation pretty much every night, just different group of people. And I don't know. You would think it'd be the same in a hostel, but it's not for some reason. It's just different atmosphere. I don't know. Same type folks. But anyway, so trying to figure out what I'm gonna do about that. And just got a couple of miles, and that's gonna be it for the day. So, you know, further south of here, like, you know, when I was some parts of Virginia and Tennessee, for sure, you know, there's all kind of like talk about bears and everything. And every state the AT crosses through has bears, but you don't hear a lot about that through here, which I is a good thing. I know they still have them. I'm sure people still see them. But the main thing you hear about through here is rattlesnakes. And I think I'd choose a bear over a rattlesnake. But so I've been kind of like watching my feet all day between trying to step through these rocks and watch for rattlesnakes. So I've seen a bunch of black snakes, but no rattlers yet. And if I can make it through Pennsylvania without seeing one, that would be just fine. But I did cross a road earlier today, and it was called like Rattlesnake something, Rattlesnake Run Road, something like that. So apparently they're pretty common through here. Anyway, well, let me get on down this trail and figure out what I'm gonna do, and I will talk to y'all later. Well, I guess this is how we're gonna wrap the day up. Lord, maybe it'll be fun. Let's go.